All right, let's start from the beginning here. Our final exam is Tuesday, December 6th, from 11 a.m. to 1:45 p.m. So it's longer than a normal class. And it's right here in Juniper Hall, room 307. And you see where I have things underlined here? There's three things underlined: conversions, sketching rational function, and problems from old exams, right? So these are like the three different things that are going to be on the final. Conversions is something I put off, and today I'm going to cover conversions. It's pretty straightforward. Hopefully you'll agree with me on that. We'll do some conversions. There will be a couple of problems on the final that have to do with conversions, all right? Then sketching a rational function. Now I did not put that on the last test, right? I said I wanted to make that test just about exponentials and logs. I thought about putting it on the final, but then I said, you know what? I'm just going to give it as a take-home problem. So that problem right there, sketch 3x squared minus 27 over x squared minus 6x. By following the procedure done in class, you're going to have to go back and look in your notes. You can go back and watch the lecture if you don't know what you're supposed to do. I believe you had a take-home assignment where you had to sketch some rational functions. So do that problem, bring it to class on Tuesday at 11 a.m. You will turn it in before you take the final, and that will count as 10% of your test grade. All right? Understand? All right. I don't plan on going over a sketching rational function problem here today. I mean, unless we have time. I don't plan. Part of me giving it to you as a take-home is to see how resourceful you are in terms of going back and looking at your notes and figuring it out on your own. All right? So do that problem, bring it, and make sure it's neat, okay? I mean, like, it's a take-home problem, so don't just like chicken scratch it out there in the hallway 10 minutes before the final, turn it in. You know, if you have 3 pages, if it takes you 3 pages, staple the pages, make it, you know, show some pride in your work. And then we're going to have problems from our old exams. So what I did is I put all 3 of our exams here. That's why this is so thick. It's all 3 of the exams together. All right? And what I'm going to do is after I talk about conversions, we're going to walk through each of these exams, and I'm going to tell you, hey, number 3 looks good. You know, and just kind of like focus your attention on certain problems from each exam. Okay? I haven't made the final, so I can't tell you how many questions, but after we actually talk through it, I think we'll have a better idea about how many it'll be. All right? I don't know how long the test is going to take you. You know, I can't tell you it's going to take you till 1:45. It's going to depend on you. You know, like the last test, I had some students stay all the way to the end. I think my first student was done in 15 minutes, maybe even less. So it depends on the student, right? All right, so let's talk conversions, all right? Y'all ready? This is it, last hurrah here. All right, before I begin this, I just want to remind you of a couple of things. I mean, this has to do with conversions, but I need to remind you of a couple of different things in terms of algebra. Remember that if you take anything, doesn't matter what it is, and you multiply it times 1, it doesn't change it, right? So if you multiply anything by 1, it doesn't change it. Agreed? All right. Now, let's talk about something else. We have certain units of measure that we use in our everyday lives that we're all familiar with, certain things like feet, miles, inches, right? Minutes, seconds, hours. Those are things we're all pretty familiar with, and we should know some of those, what we call conversions, all right, or conversion factors. So let's list out a couple of the common conversions. Let's first talk about time, all right? We know that there are, 60 seconds in 1 minute, right? In 1 minute. So I could say is equal to 1 minute. I'm just going to put 1 min. We know this is being true, right? So this is an equation. It's 60 seconds equals 1 minute. Now, whenever you have an equation that relates two units together, you can rewrite this equation in two different ways. All right? One way I could write it is like this. I could divide both sides by 1 minute. All right? Let me divide both sides by 1 minute. And what I'd be saying is 60 seconds, I'm just going to put SEC for seconds, over 1 minute equals what? If I divide that by 1 minute, what do I get? 60. What's 1 minute divided by 1 minute?
1 minute.
No. One. Just one, isn't it? Just one. Anything over itself is one. Agreed? Okay, so this is equal to 1. Yes? Now the reason why this is important is because I'm telling you this. Remember, if we multiply anything by 1, it doesn't change what it is. Okay? We can rewrite the number 1 as this if we want to. All right, do you agree? All right. The other way I could do it is instead of dividing both sides by 1 minute, I could divide both sides by 60 seconds. So what happens if I divide this by 60 seconds? I would get 1, and I'll just put it over here. 1 equals this divided by 60 seconds, 1 minute over 60 seconds, right? So these are equivalent. 1 minute per 60 seconds is the same as 60 seconds per 1 minute. They're both equal to 1. Now, how would we use something like this? Well, let me give you an actual problem now. This is just to get you to think. How many minutes? I can't spell today. I've never been able to spell, sorry. How many minutes are in 3,652 seconds? Question. All right, now I'm going to show you the proper way to do this. I know that you could probably just sit there and say, oh, you're just going to divide that by 60. I get that, all right? But we're trying to set up a method that's going to help us later when we're trying to convert something like meters per second over to like miles per minute. All right, we need some sort of like process, right? So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to start by writing down what I have, okay? What I have is 3,652 seconds, right? And I'm always going to take that and put it over 1 just to create a fraction. Everyone agrees that's the same thing? Yeah? Now, what am I trying to convert this to? Minutes, right? I'm trying to convert this to minutes. And because of that, I'm going to look over at my relationship that I have between seconds and minutes, which is what I happen to just do over here, right? Seconds and minutes. And what I want is for seconds to disappear and minutes to appear. Do you understand? I don't want seconds anymore, I want minutes. So I'm going to multiply this by 1. If I multiply this by 1, it's the same thing, isn't it? So the one I'm going to choose is going to be one of these. And my question to you is which one? Which one do I use? And why? Why do I use the one on the right? See, the seconds are on the bottom, right? And the minutes are on the top. With the seconds being on the bottom, it will cancel with the seconds on top, and then you'll have minutes that are on the top right here, right? So let me write that one down. 1 minute is 60 seconds, like that. The seconds cancel, like the word seconds cancels with the word seconds. And see how the minutes is left? You have minutes on top. But now I need to actually multiply the numbers. And this is multiplying two fractions. You multiply straight across. So 3652 times 1 is going to be just 3652, right? 3,652. $3,652 minutes over, now what number do I have on the bottom? 60. Just 60, right? There's no words down there, just 60. And so what I'm going to need to do is on my calculator, I'm going to need to figure out what 3,652 divided by 60 is. And I'm going to get a decimal, I think. Yeah, I should. This turns out to be approximately 60.8, looks like 666 forever. I'm just going to go 86 minutes. Understand this? Okay. So like I said, in the beginning, a lot of you could have just looked at that and said, oh, I'm just going to divide by 60, and that's going to give me how many minutes are. Yes, I get it. But see the process here? This is how you use a conversion equation to actually convert 2 units, or from one unit to another. And this works for any units. As long as you have that equation over here, you can do this. So I'm going to give you another one now. It's about an hour, isn't it? Could we convert that to hours? So let's just change the problem here. How many hours are in 60 seconds? So let's think about this. What are the 2 units you're trying to connect together?
Seconds and hours.
Seconds and hours. That means I need to have an equation that somehow connects seconds to hours. Okay? So do we know how many seconds are in 1 hour? Okay, so let's try this. Hold on a second. This is where we start to run into some issues, all right? It is 3,600, but let's think about what is it that we do know? We do know 60 seconds, right? In what? 1 minute? We know that, right? Hopefully everyone knows that. Yes? And you also know that you have 60 minutes in 1 hour, don't you? And this is common sense, I think, I hope. Yes? So the way we can do this by using our common knowledge is to just use both of these together. So let me write down again what it is that I have. 3,652 over 1, and this was seconds. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this times 1. First, trying to kill off the seconds. I can go from seconds to what? Minutes. And then after I do that, I can go from minutes to hours. Understand? Okay, so tell me what the fraction is here that will give me seconds on the bottom and minutes on the top. 1 minute. And then 60 seconds. Right? And I'm not going to stop. I'm going to now multiply this by, again, another 1. But this time I want the minutes to go away, and I want hours to appear. So there's, what is it? 60 minutes. So where does that 60 go? Where? Top, bottom? What do we want? We wanted these seconds to go away, right? Which they are? Yeah. And I want the minute to go away, which means I need minutes here. Understand that? And if I'm going to do minutes here, then the hours has to be up here. So how many minutes are in an hour? 60. So 60 down here and 1 up there. Is this making sense? And now I can convert both. So I can cancel the minutes out. And then I multiply across the top again. And when I multiply across the top, I get 3,652 hours over, everything's gone on the bottom except the 2 numbers, right? 60 times 60. So I have to do 60 times 60 on my calculator. That's 3,600. And now I divide. I get approximately what is it? 1.01. 1.014. Okay, so whatever, like that. And this is hours. Doesn't matter if you put hour or hours. It's Understood. So we can use conversion factors like this to convert, using multiple steps. This is what you see a lot in like chemistry classes and physical science classes. You're using multiple conversion factors at one time. All right, so let's try something else. Y'all are all right with this? Let's convert how many miles are in 10 kms. Y'all know what km stands for? Kilometers. Kilometers. So I'm going to write down what first? 10 kilometers over 1, right? Right? I'm going to write that down. So I want my kilometers to go away and I want what to appear? Miles. So that means you're going to have to know some relationship between kilometers and miles, right? And of course we all know that. No, we don't. So it's useful if we have a chart. You're allowed to bring this to the final. Okay, don't forget it because I'm not going to print multiple copies of this. Bring this to the final. Oh man, I don't have enough. I printed 25 copies, but it printed front and back. So, here, I'm just going to let's just put 2 on each table for now. All right? Sorry. And what I'll do is, I will bring copies of this, but I'll post it on Canvas. All right? I'll post it on Canvas so you have it. Well, this doesn't count towards your cheat sheet. This is a given. Sorry, y'all have to share that. All right, do you have...
Are you taking points off if we have a cheat sheet?
We haven't talked about that. Let's talk about it when we get to the... I'm going to look off yours. Is that all right? Okay. So, do you have something on here that connects kilometers to miles?
Yes.
Yes. What does it say? 1 kilometer is what? 0.6213. I think that's good enough. 62137, right? Something miles. Everyone see that on there? All right. So remember, I can create 2 different fractions out of this, right? I can create 1 kilometer over 0.62137 miles, or I can create it the other way, right? 0.62137 miles over 1 kilometer. And both of these are equal to 1, aren't they? These are both equal to 1. So I'm allowed to take this and paste it in over there. It's my choice, right? Which one I use. Now, I have to get the right one though. So which is the right one? The one on the right. Why is this one the right one? Kilometers is on the bottom, which will cancel out with the kilometers on the top there. It'll leave you with the miles on top. Understand? So I'm going to paste that right here. I'm going to say times 0.62137. Don't forget to write miles. Over 1 kilometer. And the kilometers go away, right? And I multiply straight across the top. When I multiply across the top, I get approximately 6.2137 miles over what? Over 1. So I don't need to write over 1, do I? Anything over 1 is itself. So that's it. So 10 kilometers is about 6.2 miles or so. Now look, we live in the modern day, right? We can just get on our phones and we can convert anything we want. Just go to Google and just type it in, right? So I understand, like, in the real world, we would not do this. But it's important to understand how we use equations within expressions and how this cancels out and you can convert over, all right? It's just an important process. All right. I think y'all are catching on to this. Let's do something else. How about this? $412 ounces is how many liters? That's 412 ounces is how many liters? So the first thing I'm going to do is write down 412 ounces, right, over 1. And I'm trying to get from ounces to liters. I didn't even look at this, so I hope we have it. Are there ounces on here and liters? Where is it? Oh man, it's just one conversion? That sucks. All right. All right, well, see if you can do it. Try it yourself. 33.81. Make sure I get it. No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm just looking at it. Thank you. Okay, thanks. Thanks. Who has an answer? Couple? Okay. What are you getting there? 12.184. Sounds good. Close enough. And there will be some rounding differences depending on how far you go on your calculator. It's approximately 12.18, what?
3 or 4.
Or for what though? What's my unit? Liters. So make sure you put the unit there, okay? That's important. All right. Let's try something a little more challenging. Three quarts is how many milliliters? Three quarts is how many milliliters? So what are you going to start with? 3 quarts over 1, right? Now, do you have anything that relates quarts to milliliters directly on your paper? Is there anything that says quarts and milliliters together? No. You don't. So that means you're going to need multiple conversions to get from quarts to milliliters. So what do we have? We can go from, the only thing I see down there is quarts to pints. Do you see that? See gallons to quarts. I'm looking at the last three down there. You see those? And then gallons to liters. I don't see anything else that has quart in it. Do you? So which one of those should I use? Should I go quarts to pints, quarts to gallons? Oh, there's only two with quarts. Sorry. So should I go quarts to pints or quarts to gallons? So I'm going to think about what I'm going to do here. I'm going to go quarts, all right? And I'm going to convert that over to gallons. Why am I going to go to gallons and not pints? Why? Because once I get to gallons, what can I go to? Liters. And once I get to liters, what can I do? Go to milliliters. Wait, how do you go to milliliters?
So yeah,
Where?
1 liter is 1,000 milliliters.
Yeah, there we go. So I can go from here to here. Got it? This is my train of thought. I'm going to go from quarts to gallons, gallons to liters, liters to milliliters. Understand? Okay. So let's first start with the quarts to gallons. Give me the conversion, the fraction I'm going to use to go from quarts to gallons. And keep in mind over here, what is it that you want to go away? Quarts. So you want quarts on the bottom, right? So just tell me what the fraction is going to be. So 1 what over what?
1 gallon over.
1 gallon over 4 quarts. All right. Do you want to go ahead and put that in over there now? After we've established this, you want to go put it over there?
Yeah.
Go slap it in there? Okay, so we'll just go put that right here. It's going to be 1 gallon over 4 quarts. All right, I'm going to keep going. When I do this, the quarts are gone, aren't they? So now I've got gallons. I need the gallons to go away. So I'm going to go from gallons to liters now. And I want gallons on top or bottom? Bottom. Again, because you want the gallons to go away. So what is it? 1 gallon, right? Over, yeah, sorry, wrong way. I put it exactly backwards from what I just said I was going to do. I want gallons on the bottom, right? 1 gallon. And on the top, I want 3.78541178. And that's what? Liters. I'm going to put L. So we can slap that in over there now, right? Do you ever look at a word? Do you ever look at a word sometimes and be like, man, that just looks weird? That, yeah, gallon just to me just doesn't look like it's supposed to be spelt that way to me, or it just looks strange.
I feel like you're wrong or something.
Gallon. I want to say gallon or something. All right, are we done? No, we need to go from liters to milliliters. I want the liter to go away, so I want the liter on the bottom. So I want the liter on the bottom. 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. We can put ml instead of milliliter. You can just write ml. Does it say it there? Yeah, it does. So I slap that in over here. And is there anyone that is brave enough to just raise their hand and say, I have no friggin' idea what you're doing right now? Is anyone in that boat right now? Everyone's comfortable?
Yeah,
Everyone's good? Okay. We're done. We just have to figure out what this number is. And let's cancel out all our units. Our liters are gone. Our gallons are gone. Our quarts are gone. And so we're just going to multiply all those numbers across the top. 3 times 1 times 3.7, blah, 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 times 1,000. It's going to be a big number. So we get this number across the top. It's 11,356, at least this is what I'm getting, 0.23 milliliters. Is that my answer?
Yes.
What did I still have on the bottom? I have a 4 down there. See that 4? It's important. We have to stuff to divide that by 4. All the units went away, but I still had a 4. So divide by 4. And so my final answer is approximately 2,839.05 milliliters. There are about 2,800 or so milliliters in 3 quarts of water. Okay. Boring. Okay, we'll do water. Well, I was going to say whatever you want. You got it? One last problem. All right? One last. You might ask me to see another one after you see it. Convert 3,256 inches per second into miles per hour. Oh, convert. If I tell you I throw a ball or something and it's traveling 3,256 inches per second, is that fast? It's hard to tell, right? We talked about this before. Remember when I was saying, like, if I run into the wall at a certain speed, like, if I say miles per hour, you're going to be able to tell me whether or not I live or die, right? But if I tell you in like inches per second, it's a little harder to understand. So we're going to try and convert this from inches per second to miles per hour. So we always start out by writing out what we were given to start, right? Okay, so what am I given? I have 3,256, and this is the key here. I'm supposed to write this over 1, right? But what about my unit? It's inches per second. The per is like a division sign, which means the seconds are on the bottom. So this is inches on top. And then I said to write a 1, right? Always? 1 second. Understand? That's 3,256 inches per 1 second. No questions? We have 2 different units here. This is like 2 separate problems. First, you're going to have to get inches to what? Miles, and then you're going to have to get seconds to hours. The difference between the two is that when I'm trying to get inches, when I come in over here with my 1, I want inches on the bottom, don't I? And over here, to get rid of seconds, I'm going to want seconds on the top so that the seconds cancel. So it's like opposite. All right, let's do inches first. Let's get inches to miles. Can we do that? And then we'll worry about the time. So how do I get inches to miles? Look at your conversion. Do we have a way to get from inches to miles?
Yes.
I can go inches to feet. So I can go inches. I'm just going to, well, I've been writing. I can go inches to feet. And then I can go what? Feet to miles. All right, that's not so bad. Right? So get me from inches to feet. What's the conversion I'm going to use?
12 inches to a foot.
12 inches.
Or 1 foot to 12 inches.
So I want 1 foot over 12 inches. I want the inches on the bottom because I'm going to put it right here and the inches will be on the bottom. Right? So times 1 foot 12 inches. All right, I got to go again, right? I've got to get feet to miles. So how many feet are in a mile? 5,200 feet, 80 feet in 1 mile. So which is on top, which is on bottom?
The feet's on the bottom.
Feet's on the bottom. So 5,280 feet in 1 mile. That's right off this sheet, right? Now I stick that in there. 1 mile, 5,280 feet. Now let's just do a quick check on our units. Our feet are gone. Our inches are gone. And right now my answer, if I were to multiply straight across, right? If I were to go straight across and straight across on the bottom, my answer would be, what would the units be? Miles over seconds. So this answer would be miles per second if I figured out what this is. But I don't want miles per second, I want miles per hour. So I'm going to add another conversion factor in here. But now let's talk about the time. We want to get from what? Seconds to hours. So you have some options. You want to go seconds to minutes, then minutes to hours, or seconds straight to hours? Do you know how many seconds are in an hour? 3,600. We would have to understand that it's not on our sheet. Are y'all comfortable with knowing there's 3,600 seconds in an hour, or you want to go minutes then hours? How many want minutes then hours? Okay, you do it minutes then hours, then I guess you're the only one. Okay, we're going to go straight from seconds to hours. And I'm going to write down what the relationship is first. Right, that's our relationship. There are 3,600 seconds in 1 hour. When I choose, I get to choose two different fractions, right? Seconds on top, hours on bottom, or hours on top, seconds on the bottom. Which one am I going to use over here?
Seconds on top.
Seconds on top, right? Because I have seconds on the bottom here. I want seconds on top so I can cancel those. So I'm going to put 3,600 seconds over 1 hour. And now your seconds are gone. Okay? Questions? We should be able to multiply straight across now. So do 3,256 times 1 times 1 times 3,600. Yeah, that's a big number. 11 million. Did y'all hear about the lotto winners? Yeah? I'll tell you in a second. What's the unit on top? Miles. And then on the bottom, is there any work we have to do here? Oh yeah, we've got to multiply 1 times 12 times 5280 times 1. So it's really just 12 times 5280. 63,360. And that's going to be hours on the bottom, right? And this is approximately... That's moving, huh? Oh, whoa. I did not mean for it to come out to be a nice number like that, but it did. 185 miles over hours, right? Now, our common notation for miles per hour is mph, but it means miles over hours. That's the symbol. So if I say, hey, I'm about to throw myself into this wall at 3,256 inches per second, I'm dead, right? I'm dead after that. Yeah, the lotto winner, they won, I think, it was an office pool that they had. I think there were 20 people in the pool. They all put in $5. They had been doing it for like 8 years. They've been playing. And they won. They split it up. They took the lump sum, so each of them got 12.1 million.
What?
Yeah. So we already looked $12 million in the bank at a basic interest rate, you're living okay, right?
And we should start doing this semester, right?
Yeah, we should start doing, yeah. I'm sure that'll go over real well.
Stick together for 8 years.
All right, are there any questions on this one? You think you could handle that? If you saw like something like that again? Would you like another example, or you want to wrap it up?
I got it.
I don't know why I ask y'all questions anymore. I should know by now not to ask questions.
Next one.
So we're okay?
Yes.
All right. Okay, let's talk about the final then. Everybody have a copy of the final review?
That soccer team that guy from Brazil.
Yeah, that's sad. I have another conversion thing. Here we go. Yeah, that's pretty sad. Heard they may have just run out of gas.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Not sure that's something that they're going to advertise. But yeah, pretty sad.
You know how many guys?
It's like 75 or something like that. All right, so let's kind of, now that we've talked about conversions, everyone understand on the final there's going to be some conversions, right? Then you have to turn in that rational function. That's 10% right there. And then problems from the old exam. Let's just pick some of these out. I'm looking at exam 1 here.
Do you want us to work these out on here or on a separate?
Oh no, these are your actual exams. These are the exams that you took in class.
So we don't have enough.
You don't need to work them out. This is just, I wanted to go back and look at the exams, and I know some of you may have lost them, and so this way you can look at it with me and we can say, okay, yeah, that problem doesn't look good, this one does. So in me just looking at this, I'm thinking number 4 is something that you should be able to handle. Number 5 is something you should be able to handle. You should be able to do number 8, number 9, number 10. Those were problems. GCF, okay, greatest common factor. Everyone here needs to know how to factor out a GCF. Number 9, number 10 were where you convert that word, that sentence, into an equation. So what is 32% of 92? The key words there are what is your variable, is equal sign, 32% of is multiplication. So you go and you write the equation, then you solve the equation. Same thing with number 10. As far as the other ones, number 13, TV, it's on discount, but there's sales tax. How much are you going to pay? Pardon? Yeah, that's supposed to all be a TV or all. Well, it's a TV / computer. It converts. It's. Well, most. There are TVs can play, right? There are some that have tuner cards in them that you can plug your cable into. It was a mistake. I'm trying to say it's not completely wrong. All right, keep going. Number 15. Number 18. That's it from exam 1. Exam 2, number 3, and number 5. You need to be able to factor a quadratic, and you need to be able to solve a quadratic using quadratic formula. Right? Both those things you need to be able to do.
Are we gonna have like a cheat sheet, or you're gonna?
Yeah, when we get to the end of this, we'll talk about the cheat sheet. All right. Do y'all feel like sketching a quadratic? No, not really. Okay.
Hey, we answered the question that time.
You did. Why? What's going on? I wasn't expecting an answer. What do you? I'm really thinking like number 9. Okay, so number 9, it looks bad, but that was the one. Those were polynomial functions, and that's where you just plot the x-intercepts on there, and then you determine if it bounces or crosses through, and just draw it. That problem, if you understand what you're doing on that problem should take you no more than like a minute to do. So you'll have to go back and review that a little bit. And then as far as exam 3, that's what you just tested on, and I was very happy with the results, so I don't feel like I have to test too much here. But let's just pick some stuff, because I think since y'all did do well on exam 3 and this material is kind of fresh, this might be an opportunity for you to like improve your score. I don't know. How about just like number 9, or number 2, and maybe something like number 6. That's it.
Those questions are gonna be on the final?
No, I'm not, no, hold on a second. Yeah, what I'm saying by going through this is not, okay, I just gave you your final, and I'm just going to change the numbers. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying as I'm looking through this, that's what I would recommend you focus on. So when you go back to number 4 in exam 1, that means you need to know how to do the proper order of operations. So maybe you look through your homework and you say, hey, here's a few problems there that I did that are like this. Make sure you know how to do them. Number 5, you're solving a linear equation. Make sure you understand how to do that. I just don't want you to feel like this is an exact copy of what you're going to get, all right? But it's better than me just saying, yeah, you're going to have a final on Tuesday. It's going to cover kind of everything, and I'll see you on Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I don't think I have anything else. What time is it? We good? Do you all have questions?
Is there going to be a penalty for bringing a cheat sheet?
Oh, cheat sheet. Yeah, that's right. Cheat sheet. So, do you want to flip a coin? No, that's not fair. No, we won't flip a coin.
What would take a vote?
Right, no, this is a hand.
Okay, so 5-point bonus for no cheat sheet.
So no penalty.
No penalty for a cheat sheet. All right? So you're allowed to have your conversions, okay? Your conversions, and like I said, I'm going to put them on Canvas, but I'll also bring some extras to the test. Got it? And you can have one sheet of paper front and back. Just make sure you don't work out any problems. Everyone clear on that? Do not work out any problems on your cheat sheet. I did not check that on the last exam very hard, but I will actually ask you to turn your cheat sheet in, and I will look at it when I walk around. I don't want anyone to have an unfair advantage. Yes?
The conversion chart doesn't count as a cheat.
That's right, it does not count. So you're allowed to have the conversion chart, and then in addition to that, you can have your cheat sheet. All right, I want to thank everyone for your attendance in this class. I've had a lot of issues in the past with Math 13.